Hello, welcome back to the Audio Dad Chronicles. Today we're diving into music from Devin Townsend. So earlier today, Devin Townsend released a playthrough of one of his songs from his album Transcendence, which came out 9 years ago today. And he's released a playthrough of the song From the Heart. And I've been dying to check out some music from Devin Townsend for a little while. And I actually don't know this song, at least I'm not aware of knowing this song. I think I've heard the album before, but a little bit in the background, not really paying attention to it too much. So I'm going to take the assumption that I don't know the song or have never heard it, because I don't think I have. Either way, we're going to watch Devin Townsend play the song with a backing track, and he's going to play and sing the song, and we're going to check it out. So I'm pretty excited about this, and we'll get into why in a few minutes. But let's get going first. No doubt about it, this is a Devin Townsend song when you hear it. His voice is so distinct and so unique. There is nobody quite like him. And I am fortunate to have crossed paths with him in the earlier days of my career, and it was something else. In the in the mid late '90s, Strapping Young Lad was a band that Devin Townsend fronted. It's where he kind of saw his first rise to fame, so to speak, before going solo and doing the Devin Townsend Project and other prog rock, prog metal type artistry. He was in a band fronting called Strapping Young Lad, and they were very speed metal, thrash metal kind of a genre. And they were from Vancouver, so which is where I was living at the time. And I had just moved into the town not that long ago, and I'd started working at a couple of nightclubs, and I was doing some gigs in lighting. And on one particular venue I worked at, it was called The Gate, if I recall. They hosted a night for the local radio station called CFox, and the radio DJ for the rock music hours was this guy Graham Scott, and so he was the DJ for Thursday nights at this nightclub, and that happened to be one of the nights that I worked. So any local bands that played there on Thursday nights, we would host the show. So I'd do the sound and lights, and Graham would do the songs and the music in between while hosting the radio station's show from the nightclub. So anyway. Along the way, I worked for a number of notable Vancouver-based bands, probably the largest being Nickelback. I'm not a leader of men, since I prefer to follow. I did lights and sound for them a couple of times and got stiffed by them once. Not judging you, Chad. You were busy, you left in a hurry. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Uh-huh. Anyway, and one of those nights happened to be the CD release party for Strapping Young Lad's first full-length album, City. So I had the immense pleasure of working for them for the night, and I did lights on that particular evening only, and it was enough. Anybody that's heard the music in that album, it's fast. It is really up tempo. It is very busy work. So, as a lighting technician, learning the songs on the fly as I went, I was quite busy just keeping up. It was a fantastic show. Devin and the band, they absolutely blew us away. And needless to say, I struck up a small friendship with him and a couple of the band members, and I wound up doing a little bit of work for them over the next couple of weeks at a couple of different shows, doing lights, worked for them for a day at HMV when they were doing an autograph signing, things like that. So anyway, and after that show, they did a show not that long after, and it was to promote the city shows further, and I think it was right at the start of a tour. And so Devin and the band, they decided to do something which is pretty cool. They opened for themselves. Specifically, what they did was Devin had just released the previous year an album which was called Ocean Machine. And then that year, or for that show, they had another new album, which I think that was the Infinity release. And so what Devin and Strapping Young Lad did was they played an entire set of Ocean Machine to open the show. And then they took a small break. And they came out, and then they played not all of, but they played a set from Infinity. And then it went away. And they came back out, and then they played a set as Strapping Young Lad to close the show. And it was phenomenal. It was absolutely a mind-blowing show. Just the fact that they played all night, all this different music was really, really cool. So anyways, that was my journey into who the heck was Devin Townsend and Strapping Young Lad, and it just grew from there. And nowadays, he is back to being solo again, or not making any music. I think at the moment he's taking a bit of a hiatus, well deserved. But he has graced us with this live performance, so let's keep it going, shall we? All that you mean to me. Have I told you that I love you? And have I called to say I'm sorry I made you feel this way? Have I even told you that I care? Yeah. Just need one more to take it home now. I need no more to fuel the rain. Just need not calling him out for looking up his lyrics. I do not blame him for having every song he's ever learned memorized. It's a big chore, and I'm sure he hasn't played this song live in a couple of years or so now. So he had to peek at the lyrics, and that's okay. I'd be doing the same, and probably should have pulled them up myself, not being as familiar with this song as I thought I might be. I definitely don't know it that well, but this is great so far. It is a very classic Devin Townsend project. Prog metal, big orchestration, a lot of layers going on, very dense songwriting. Devin's definitely in a league of his own. He only surrounds himself with the best. What a note. And man, Devin can hold a note, let me tell you. I have seen him hold some really long notes on stage to the point that he basically collapsed on his monitor from lack of oxygen. The band just kept going. Strapping Young Lad, to be specific. The band just kept going. They knew what would happen. I'm sure it's happened before. It was really something else seeing this guy just holding it and holding it and holding it, and you see the life draining from his eyes. Nobody is quite like Devin. He is a league of his own. He is in a universe of his own. Just absolutely unreal. Now I know this is a Devin Townsend or Devin Townsend Project song. Can't remember where this particular one landed in his career, but since I was talking about Strapping Young Lad, I thought I'd just kind of bounce back to there for a second. Strapping Young Lad consisted of a couple of guys: Gene Hoglan, known for Death Angel, Death, and a whole bunch of other fantastic heavy bands. Devin told me back then when Gene first came on board and did the City album and was at doing these shows in the early days. Uh, Devin told me that the reason he hired Gene is because when they did the first EP, most of the songs were all done on drum machine. And Devin found that the tempo of the drum machine was limiting because he wanted to play faster than it. So he went out and found a human being, the atomic clock, Gene Hoglan himself, as being the only guy at the time he knew that could go faster than the fastest drum machine he had access to, and there they are. So there's Gene Hoglan in the band. Then there's also Byron Stroud on bass, a really great bass player. He was working with, I think he was in Caustic Thought with Devin. He also was playing live with Frontline Assembly in their band, along with Devin at one point, and the guitar player, Jed Simon. And the reason I bring up Jed Simon is he is actually back on the scene, so to speak, right now with a band that he formed a little while after Strapping Young Lad disbanded and he wanted to go on to other things. And he actually started a band up with Joey Jordison of Slipknot, and it was called Vimic. It never got off the ground or never got released. I don't remember the exact specifics of it all. All I know is they're back, so to speak. Joey Jordison's family has authorized the release of some new music. And it's coming out soon, or it is out. I haven't had a chance to check it out yet, but I'm gonna have to look into that a little bit more. And they're also doing a bit of a tribute show, so to speak, for Joey to honor and remember the music. I know Crypta's drummers got on board with that. There's been a few other artists whose names have come up, and of course Jed will be a big part of that as one of the driving forces behind the band. So anyways, let's get back into Devin Townsend now that we were done talking about Strapping Young Lad.
Transcendence. What do we remember about this record?
We're going to get to hear Devin talk about it too. Cool, I wasn't expecting that. Well, what's Devin got to say?
Personnel first, I guess. DTP, Ryan Van Poeterooyen, Dave Young, Brian Waddell, Mike St. John. Nolly helped me with this one. Nolly Get Good.
any of those that have, it's not within reach right now, but any of those that have watched other videos of mine, I reacted to Sublime Ensenada, and I quickly busted out a Dingwall bass. That model of bass, which is, like I say, just out of reach, but I won't bother grabbing it today. It happens to be the Nolly Get Good signature model, NG2 to be specific, in 5-string. Devin here is referencing Nolly. Nolly is in the band, or was in the band Periphery. He's well known as a producer, engineer, bass player, guitar player, phenomenal musician, phenomenal engineer, and he's really done a lot in the metal industry to kind of change the way things are done and perceived and mixed and edited. He's a big name, so knowing he was involved with the DTP even that far back, that's pretty cool.
Anthony Clarkson did the art. This particular song was a really important one to me. I mean, the story is, it's pretty cheesy. But I was at a yin yoga class, because I like yin yoga. And I was doing this pose. I guess they get you to do it where you put a block behind your shoulder and then you lie on it, so it's like your heart is forward. And they were playing this song, and it was just a combination of circumstance and the frame of mind and everything about the day, and it just busted me right up. And I asked the teacher who sang the song, and she told me it was an artist named Krishna Das. So I wrote the Krishna Das organization. I said, hey, how would you feel about a psychologically arguably unbalanced heavy metal musician doing a cover of your beautiful chorus and incorporating it into a song on a record called Transcendence? And I think after a significant amount of confusion, the organization finally just was like, okay. But at least we asked. I'm in the midst of The Moth now, I'm in the midst of Dream Piece, I'm in the midst of the Ruby Quaker, I'm in the midst of all these things, and I recognize how much life is just, more than anything, just a conglomeration of moments that require you to learn how to deal with change. You know, I used to think it was like at the other end of a scenario there would be resolve. But it's much easier for me at this point just to be like, you know what? Life is this. And to expect it to be otherwise is, that's a thing on you.
Deep thoughts from a deep man. He is a brilliant mind. I can attest to that. He is a mad scientist. He is a genius. He is a ball of energy. He is so many things and more. And there are more things I could say about Devin that I should not say in public. We've had a few good times together. He's a great, great guy. I cannot let this video go through to the end without acknowledging his shirt. Let's go Muppet Show. Heck yeah.
I've been doing this for so many years. I don't know if the music industry needs me anymore, but I will say I love to sing, I love to play. If you have any need for what I do, I've got tons of it coming up. And if you don't, that's cool too. Maybe I'll just go to the beach. Thank you to everybody involved with the making of Transcendence. Thank you for you. I'll see you real soon, okay? This is Devin. Out. Let's see. See ya.
And there's a brilliant piece from Heavy Devi. Pardon me. There it is. Devin giving us a little playthrough of From the Heart from his Transcendence album, which came out nine years ago today as of the filming. And telling us a little story or two about what inspired the song or some of the songs from Transcendence. Really very interesting to hear that story. I didn't know that particular one. I do have a few stories of my own of Devon. Maybe others will leak out over time. We'll see how it goes. But for now, the rest of them are going to stay up here. So thanks for coming by. Thanks for watching this little walkthrough, playthrough of From the Heart from Devon Townsend. Another little slice of CanCon, just because. Why not? I'm Canadian, and a lot of my background was in the Canadian music industry, so I thought we should represent again when we could. So thanks a lot for the memories, Devon. Thanks for the music. We do need you. Keep going. Keep releasing music. I want more Ziltoid in my life. Let me tell you, we need another one. Things happen in threes. Let's go. But there we are. There's Devon Townsend, and here we go. Thanks for coming by. I hope to see you again.